of course, in our communities, when it comes to 2, 3, and 4, the problem is because it's such a taboo subject and it's something seen as wrong. Who does this is generally those who do it secretly from their first wives. They go back home to Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, whichever country, and they secretly get married, and then they abuse the first wife and they leave the second wife hanging. So these are the stories that we see in front of us. So whenever anyone ever talks about a second or a third, what initially comes to our mind is, oh, that uncle that we know of who abandoned his first wife, that's not even looking after his second wife. And we think, oh, subhanAllah, is this what Islam is? This is completely wrong. So now, yes, having a second, third, and fourth, if it's not done properly, yes, it can cause problems within a family. It can cause problems in the first wife or the second wife. It can. But likewise, even getting married once, even just having one wife, that can cause problems, isn't it? If the man is not good and is abusive, then it's going to cause problems. He's going to abuse that wife. He's going to leave her hanging. He's not going to fulfill her rights. So the problem isn't marrying one, it's not marrying two, it's not marrying three. It's about the man being a person of justice. If the man is a person of justice, he fears Allah and he lives according to the Qur'an and Sunnah, then whether he has one, he'll fulfill her rights. If he has two, he'll fulfill her rights. If he has three, he'll fulfill their rights. The problem isn't marriage, because if the problem is the marriage itself, then even we can see the rates of even single marriages, isn't it? How sometimes many times they're abusive and the rights are unfulfilled. Do we say no, all marriages are bad? No, we don't. We isolate the issue. We say, look, this man is bad. Well, this woman is bad. So, but when it comes to the issue of 2, 3, we say, look, the issue of 2, 3 is bad, not the man. It's the whole system is bad, which is something we should abstain from. Allah here says, marry that which pleases you. And then of course we have the hadith. The Prophet said a woman is married for 4 reasons. One, for her, sometimes women are married for their beauty, for their lineage, for their wealth, and then for their deen. And the Prophet said, marry that woman for her deen, so that you could become successful. So as a believer, when it says مَا طَابَ لَكُمْ, that which pleases you, we're not supposed to be pleased with marrying an immoral woman. That's number one. We know that from the hadith. Our criteria as believers. We have our criteria is the book of Allah and His Sunnah. So a woman that's immoral, does not worship Allah, I will not be pleased to marry her, regardless of her beauty or her lineage or her wealth. So that's number one. And okay. Yeah, but the point here is that it's not qualified, that you have to do it for a specific reason. That's that. And in terms of, yes, of course, there's so many wisdoms in Allah allowing that. One is that, of course, throughout history, where men have always been in wars. Now it's quite, in the last, let's say, 200 years or so, now borders are defined. We know, okay, we have safety, security, and whatnot. But before that, there weren't any borders. People always in fighting, taking over. That land is taken over, they're taking over, they're taking over. Constant danger, constant battle. So men are dying all the time. Who's going to look after the women? Now it's the act of bravery that someone says, you know what, I'll take on that family's responsibility. It's an act of bravery, it's an act of honor. So of course there's so many other wisdoms and hikam behind this, that why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has legislated this. But in terms of our societies and communities, of course, we need, like I mentioned before, it's because we have bad examples in front of us. We don't see a working structure. We don't to say, look, this is how we can work, or look, these are the benefits about it. Whenever we think of 2, 3, and 4, we just think of that dodgy uncle who done something dodgy with the family, has broken the family. Unfortunately, these are the examples of. But the reason why these are the only examples that we have in front of us is, number one, I would say, because as people of knowledge, we're not talking about this and we're not demonstrating a good example. How do people know how to pray salah? How do people know how to pray, what a good salah looks like? They come to the masjid and they see the imam, how he's praying in the khushu', with ruku', with sujood. What are the manners of Islam? People see a living role model, isn't it? But when it comes to 2, 3, 4, we don't see living role models. Not just that, we don't even talk about it. And if someone brings it up, we say, no, we don't talk about this, So now who's going to be doing it? They're going to do it, and when people do it, they're going to do it in the wrong way. The way that Allah does not want, the way that Allah has not legislated, and so on. So that's why we only see bad examples in front of us, and we don't see any good examples because it's something that we shy away from. So how do we change our scenario? What do we need? We need good imams to be the role models, to show how a 2, 3, or 4 works. So slowly in the next generation, we can see, look, this is the divine wisdom in Allah's law. So we need good Imams to come forward and to show and become good role models.